Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. How are you, dear student? Hope you are doing good, great, fit, and healthy. Uh, like in last video, we already studied about the free fall motion, and we solved some example about the free fall motion. We said that free fall mean vertical motion or one dimension, but on the vertical side or y-axis. So today also we are going to study some problem or find the solution of some problem or example solution in this video. So let's see the first example here. For example, they said in the first example, an object related from rest above the ground reach the ground with 35 meter per second. Find the initial height of the object. Like how can we draw the graph of this whole subject? They ask that we have one object. Let's suppose we have a ball, and it is the first time it is on the rest, like this is in the rest. So after some time, when this ball is reached to the ground, so their speed at this point is 35 meter per second. So they said, so find the initial height, mean find the total height of the ball or this object. So here in last lecture we said that whenever you see the word rest, so directly put that the initial velocity is equal to 0 meter per second, and g value is 10 meter per second square. This is the acceleration due to gravity, and the ball is coming down from up to down. So g value is 10 meter per second. This is constant. Vf, we know that it is given the 35 meter per second. So find the height. So in three equation of motion, vertical motion, so if I use the first equation, so here I cannot use this because here is no height part. And the second equation, if I use this one, the problem is that here is the time is given, and in the question we have no time. That if I use the third equation, so I cannot use this one, I cannot use this one. So if I use the third equation of motion, that one, so here the height is also given, the final velocity is also given, the initial velocity is also given, and the g value is also given. So this means I can use the third equation of motion. Like here I already wrote 2g is delta y is equal to vf square minus vi square. Now if we shift the 2g to this side, right side, so the equation become vf square minus vi square divided by 2g. Now put the value here. Vf square is 35 meter per second whole square minus vi square is already mentioned here, which is equal to 0, and 2 multiplied by g value. Normally we will put or use 10 for the simplicity of for the calculation, like that one. So now if we find the square root of 35 meter per second, so it is become 12 to 5 meter square per second square, and this is equal to minus 0, and this one 2 multiplied by 10 is 20 meter per second square. So this will be cancelled with that one and this one, that one. So if we divide 1225 by 20, so the answer will be, or we can say delta y, our height is equal to 61.25 meter. So this is the height, which is equal to 61.25 meter. So this is the solution of this example. Now in next page, let's see the another example what they are going to ask. what they want. An object is thrown upward with initial velocity of 20 meter per second. Find its velocity. Again, let's see, an object is thrown upward, like here. Now they throw some object from that point to from down to up. So here we already studied in the last lecture. If we move from down to up, so we will use the g value is minus 10 uh, because the speed of the g value is what decrease, or there is some effect on the g value. So if we find the value here at this point, the initial velocity is 20, like they mention here. The initial velocity is 20 meter per second, and they say find its velocity 1 second later. So let's suppose after 1 second we will find vf. This is unknown. And after 3 second, let's suppose if the body reach after 3 second here, like this is 1, this is 2, this will find the velocity on that point. This is also unknown. And also find the position mean height here, after 1 second later and 3 second later. So in that point we also find the height, and also we will find the height on that point 3 second later and 1 second later. So let's see here. If I use the first, we will like the value which is given here, we will write the value. I already wrote here. The initial velocity is equal to 20 meter per second. G value is minus 10 time t1. For example, they ask 1 second later is 1 second. T2 mean after 3 second, like this is 3 second. So vf in 1 second is unknown, and vf is 3 second known. Like final velocity after 1 second we will find, and final velocity after 3 second we will find. And delta y mean height after 1 second is unknown, or we will find, in height after 3 second we will find. So first we find the final velocity after 1 second. So I will use this equation for the simplicity, like vf is equal to vi plus gt. Now putting the value, vi is equal to 20 meter per second. G value is minus 10, so we will plus multiplied by minus is minus, and put the value of g, which is equal to 10 meter per second. And now the time is after 1 second, the first part we will find. So now multiply the value and subtract. So this is equal to 20 meter per second. This is second, so this second will be cancel with second square, like that. So 10 multiplied by 1 is 10, so this is equal to 10 meter per second. So find the final velocity after 1 second, mean at that point is 10 meter per second. Now you will use the same equation, just put the value of t is 3 and find the vf. So this is your like homework. The second one, if you want to find the height after 1 second, like that one here. So I cannot use the third equation or first equation, because in first equation the height is not given, in third equation the height is given, but the problem is that there is no time. So if we see the second equation of motion, so here the initial velocity is also given, time is also here we have, and g value is also here, and again the time is also here. So I can use the second equation of motion. Now use that one to find the height after 1 second. Delta y is equal to vit plus the g value is minus, so it will become minus 1 by 2 gt square. Now putting the value, vi is 20, time after 1 second, first we put the 1 second, minus a half 10 meter per second square in 1 square. If we put the value here, So now calculate. This is equal to 20 meter per second. If we multiply 20 multiplied by 1, so minus, so this 10 multiplied by 1, so the square will be cancelled with that square. And now here again, here is second, so here is meter per second, so second will be cancelled with second, so here is 20 meter, and here is the remaining part is minus 10 meter. If we calculate that one, so 20 minus 10 meter is equal to 10 meter. So this is the height after 1 second. So again I will give you some homework. You will find the height after after 3 seconds. After 1 second we find in the height is 10 meter, mean at that point, so you can find the height after 3 seconds just using the 3 here instead of 1. So let's see the another page here. So now I will give you some homework. You will solve the question. So your homework is that there are wrote the 3 example. Let's see carefully one by one and you will solve that one. An object is thrown upward with initial velocity of 30 meter per second. In what height its velocity decreased to 15 meter per second. So you will find the height. The next one, a ball is thrown vertically upward, is caged by the thrower after 8 seconds. Find. Mean, let's suppose I am the thrower, I throw the ball upward, and after 8 seconds the ball is coming again and I catch that ball. So what they want, find the initial velocity of the ball, find the initial velocity at that height, mean at that position. The next one, find the maximum heights it reached, mean we will find the maximum height, that how much vertical distance covered by this ball. So this is the second part of the second question. The third one, a ball is thrown upward with the speed of 50 meter per second. Find the maximum height of that the ball can reach. Here again we will find the maximum height. So these 3 questions is your homework. So try to solve these 3 example. If you have any problem, you can ask in your comment. Thank you so much. Hope you got my points from today's lecture. If you have any problem, you can ask. Thank you so much.